There you go. I can see you now.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you too.
All right.
All right. So how's it going, Mr. Barrera? How you doing today?
It's going well. Thank you.
So I don't want to know exactly where you live, but what area do you live in the district too? What area like do you live
Well,
in more?
I live half a block from Gloucester Park, on the corner of the Little League Park.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see the Little League Park from my house.
Oh, okay. Cool. So we got a few questions here. Maybe we could just start getting into some questions. First question, are you running for re-election?
You know what? I am.
Okay.
I am running for re-election.
Okay. Have you heard anybody running against you this year or is it just you?
Well, you know what? Right now it's me. Historically, every time I've ran, for some odd reason, a group or people or individuals throw somebody out at the 11th hour. It's always happened like that.
Yes. Yeah.
But I haven't heard any serious contenders yet. But you know what? But I welcome everybody to participate because you know what? When people have a choice, it's a
Yeah.
lot better for the city.
Okay, so this last time you ran, you were unopposed though, huh? Yeah,
I,
no.
I was unopposed, but there was, I know two people that went and picked up papers, uh, and for some reason they chose not to run.
Okay. So when somebody chooses not to run against you, is your name still on the ballot? Like, do you still get votes or do you just keep your seat? How does that work?
Well, there's a time schedule. If you choose not to run, but you're late, your
Yeah.
name will continue staying on the ballot. But but there's strict timelines. Once you say you're going to run, there's strict timelines for everything that you need to take care of.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right. So yeah, no, I met somebody at that farmer's market who said that he's waiting until you step aside for him to run because he likes you and he's happy with your job. But he
Well,
doesn't want to run against you.
well, you know what? One interesting thing happened to me the last time that I was not going to run anymore. But you know what was interesting? This last time that I ran, the former mayor and all five other council members
Yeah.
asked me to run. And you know what? It's very surreal because in politics, usually people want to get rid of you.
Yeah.
So when you get the support, even with people that you don't vote along the same lines,
Yeah.
I think that says something about the level of respect for each one of us.
That's cool. Okay.
Yeah,
So your plans are running. Yeah, I haven't heard anybody running against you, so
yeah.
maybe you won't have nobody run against you.
Uh,
I know that's always nice because you don't have to worry and you don't have to raise a bunch of money
you,
and stuff
you
like
know
that.
what? It is always nice, but again, because I'm talking with you, I always encourage people if they feel that they can do a better job. I
Yeah.
always encourage people to run because I know a lot of times we can be on the sidelines and complain. Well, it's when you get in the ring to make a difference. So I encourage people to run if they're interested.
Okay. So is there anything that you want to talk about today? Any issues that are really close to you? That any messaging you want to get out? Like what do you want the voters in Salinas to know?
Well, you know what? I'm pretty excited about what things are happening right now. Just to give you an example, yesterday I met with Stonebridge, which is the developer from Creek Bridge. They are going to be the first ones to start developing apartments, townhouses, and houses at the Veranda area, at the future growth area. I met yesterday with them, with CCA, BHC, Chispa, because what we want to do, we want to find out if there's a possibility if people that live in Salinas can afford to live in one of these houses or apartments, that they have first dibs on them, that they're the first ones. But again, we have to educate people on how to start taking care of their credit report, and making sure that they don't have too many bills because even if you need a home and you have money, your credit report says a lot, for you to qualify as well. So we're trying
Yeah.
to educate people on that.
So how many units you think are how many addresses you think are going to be popping up out of that development?
You know
Like
what?
when's it?
I understand. Um, I'm going to say under 100 right now, but
Okay.
but this is going to be the first. development that's going to take place because there's going to be other developers that are going to participate as well.
Okay, and that's in the Bronda area, you said, huh?
It is.
Okay. So that's what would you say your most important like campaign thing that you're gonna run on? Your most important position that you're is it creating more development and more
You know
building?
what? Well, you know what? As you already know, city council does not build houses.
Yeah,
But relationships, incentives, working with developers, working with business people,
yeah,
working with people that do have the financial resources,
yeah.
we have to make it possible to get their interest to start developing so we can be able to help the people that we serve. Just
Okay.
here in District 2, 70% of the constituency is rent, they rent 70%.
Yeah,
30% of the constituency in District 2 is undocumented.
yeah,
30%. So you figure out of every 10 houses that sell in District 2, seven are for investment and three are for somebody to live in, and perhaps two families move into a house that when they start buying.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what's going on, right? A lot of the rich people are buying up a lot of the houses and the apartment buildings and
Well, it's not necessarily a lot of the rich people. What's happening is
investment groups. Yeah,
we have a lot of Latino investors. I'm
yeah,
going to tell you something. Just down the corner, across the street from the Little League Park, there
yeah,
was a triplex that these two Chicano professional investors, these are Latinos,
yeah,
maybe they're
yeah.
rich, huh?
Yeah, no, well, for me, I worry more about not the color, but their motives. You know,
Well,
that's what I
yeah.
worry about. Yeah. So,
Well, I'll
so
tell you
yeah,
what.
what you're saying. Yeah,
I'll tell you what. We all have different motives.
yeah,
If Latinos, look how we label ourselves. We're Latinos, Hispanics, Chicanos, Mexicans, and what else?
yeah,
Now, if we were to say, you know what, we're going to work together, we would do things, good things in Salinas, but you know what happens with us? We fight among each other. We really do. We're known for that. And
yeah,
a lot of times, if we were to say, you know what, let's start working together, if possible, and let's make something happen. And you know what? Like, I'll give you an example. Gloucester Park right now,
yeah,
a $7.5 million project. Um, Once it's done, if we can stop and celebrate the park, but you know what will happen? We're not doing enough. You should do more.
yeah,
And we never stop and celebrate. We always want to do more, but we forget that we get one family in a house. Man, let's celebrate that. Well, should we do more?
yeah,
Absolutely. But you know what? It's not easy.
yeah. Well, if it bleeds, it leads. You ever heard that saying with the
I have.
media, with the news? And
Yes.
a lot of people want the headlines and they want the stories. And no, I agree with you. The beautiful things that happen in the world are not talked about enough and they're not
Yeah.
celebrated enough. I'm with you on that one, Tony. I totally agree with you. But back to your point with the infighting amongst Latinos, like or brown people, right? Like for me, I really don't care if somebody's brown or white or black or whatever. For me, if somebody's doing wrong, I'm all for accountability.
Yeah.
And and I think I mean my this is my personal opinion. I feel that a lot of money gets wasted by a lot of extra positions that we have in the city. Like
Hmm.
there's like a lot of positions that I don't really know if we really need those positions. And like this ties to one of my questions that I had for you. I was watching a video where I believe it was in December. Um, Renee Renee asked for a raise
Hmm.
and you voted yes to give him a raise and everybody voted except Andrew to give him a
Uh-huh.
raise.
Uh-huh.
And I mean, can you tell me more about because I'll tell you where I stand. I feel like 300,000 is a lot, and I feel like if you're here to work for the city and do your job, you don't ask. I mean, because I worked construction for a long time, Tony, right? I couldn't ask for a raise.
Yeah.
I give a raise whenever they want to give me. If I ask for a raise, they're gonna can me, and there's 20 other guys lined up for my job if I ask for a raise, you know.
Yeah.
So it is what it is. But why just I just wondered, wow, why would this guy feel so comfortable to ask for a raise when he's already getting paid more than everybody on the dais? You
Uh-huh.
know, he's getting paid 300,000. He wants 15 more, and then on top of that, he wanted like an extra, like he wanted like prorated or something, like that raise included in the, like he wanted, and you guys gave it to him, and I
Yeah.
just thought,
Yeah.
wow, I just thought to myself, wow, like, you know, I would have, I would just find another city manager, another city manager. If that's
Yeah.
not enough money, and it's not
Yeah.
personal, and it's not disrespectful or anything for anybody to say that, it's just like that's a lot of money. I would have never even voted to give anybody three
Yeah.
hundred thousand to be the city manager. Now I know his title. I know there's a lot of things that come with the title, but I think you guys could have found something for somebody for cheaper. But anyways, maybe you can go into further detail about
I
your.
can't. Well, by listening to you, I can understand uh, that you don't understand the way government works versus you were a construction worker versus private industry. Private industry, they can fire you if you're a non-union employee. They can get somebody else for cheaper wage. When you're in government, when you start looking at comparable cities like Salinas, 160,000 people, 80% Latino, um, farm workers, hardworking people, you start looking for the best that your money can buy. And you know what? $300,000 is a lot of money, but it was the cheapest financially. It was the cheapest that we could get. And let me tell you, you mentioned Andrew. Andrew's a good public servant, but at the same time, you have to look. What is it that you can buy? What's the best for the value that you're getting for the 300,000 versus somebody can say, "Hey, well, you know what? Hire me for 250,000." But do they qualify? Do they have the experience? And you know what? As you're looking at as a matter of fact, the city manager is at will. And what that means that every time his yearly contract comes up, his or her yearly contract comes up, the city council can choose to either retire that person from the city or give them another raise or not give them another raise. Um, so we always look at the value of the investment. So what we did ask Renee, okay, we're going to give you 300,000. How are you going to make it happen where you're an investment instead of a liability? What can we see in 365 days of performance of value? Let me just give you a quick example. Whether, however you feel about Amazon, I look at Amazon, some of our field workers are going to be able to get a job over there that's not as backbreaking as it is in the fields. Look at the opportunity. Renee had worked on that. That's going to bring in $3 million a year taxes. What does that mean? To fix our streets, fix our sidewalks. That was Renee. So you figure 300,000 a year to bring in 3 million a year. Look at that. Look at the value. Look at the investment. And yeah, you can look at situations like that.
Can I tell you
So
something, Tony?
yes, sir.
If we had a chimpanzee that was the city manager,
Okay.
Amazon would have wanted to come over here no matter what.
No,
That's not, it's not that Renee is this
but that's not
salesperson that he
what you're
went and convinced the
what you're
city.
saying is not true. What you're saying is not true.
It is
No.
true. It is true. This is the biggest city in the county. They needed us. They need us. You guys probably could have sucked them for maybe 10 million a year.
No.
Did anybody press up on them?
Okay. You and I can go back and forth on this, but I don't.
I'm being honest though. Like if you really think about
No,
it, Tony, if you really
you may
think about it,
you may be honest,
they need
but
us. They need us more than we need them.
okay. Okay, we're not going to get into it.
That's. Well, I mean, that's my
Well,
opinion.
well,
We're having a
well,
conversation.
well, the chimpanzee is bringing in $3 million.
I mean, the chimpanzee could have got more,
No, you know
and
what?
then you're giving him 300,000, and he's getting another raise. What about next year? Does he get another raise?
I just said right now, it's up to the city council not to give another raise
Yeah,
depending on performance.
yeah. Would you vote to give him another raise if he asked for another raise?
I don't know yet. I have to look at when we discuss those issues. We look at the performance, how much money was brought in that year.
Yeah.
We don't always give raises. Everything is
I would
done.
never I would never give a raise to somebody making 300,000 who's working for the city like that. That's too much money. If you want to make more money, he should go into the private sector.
You know what? It sounds like you're ready to run for city council. That way, you'll know firsthand what you're going to do and what you're not going to do.
I'm just, this is basic like common sense. This isn't really
No.
nobody. I don't know why. I don't know why it's so hard to understand this. The
Oh,
concept
it's
of him being paid 300,000 is plenty.
it's not hard.
I don't think he did. And then on top of that, I mean, I don't know his background. I'm pretty sure he's a really nice guy. It's not personal attack against Mr. Mendez, I
Yeah,
believe is his last name.
yeah.
He's probably a great guy. He probably has a beautiful family. You know, it's not about that. It's about, we need to save money every opportunity that we have, in the city. And it's
Yeah.
like, I mean, every penny counts. How do you feel about Donahue paying that
Look,
guy 15,000 to come over here and speak? And he
well,
was talking about porn and all kinds of weird stuff. I mean,
well,
that's just a waste of money. I mean, how do you feel about that?
I don't think we've done with Now you're moving to Donahue. I don't. We're not done with Mendez yet. I don't know Mr. Mendez's family. I
Yeah,
know his job performance.
yeah,
I know I meet with him one on one twice a month, and I discuss the concerns that I have for District 2 and as well as the city.
yeah,
I am very happy and satisfied with his work performance right now. Um, I've gone to Sacramento. Rene is a valued employee because he's got very good connections. And what I mean by that, he's well known as a professional city manager in the Sacramento area. And when we go to Sacramento's, we're after funding.
yeah.
So that's the value that I hold Rene to. Not because he's a good man or a family person or a good father. No, because he's a good city manager.
Well, to my understanding, don't we have a lot of money just waiting to be spent to fix stuff that hasn't been spent yet? To my understanding, like there's like we don't have enough people, like there's not enough hiring, like I'm talking about the road stuff. To
Yeah.
my understanding, don't we have like money just sitting somewhere waiting to fix stuff, but there's not enough
Well,
manpower, I
well,
guess. I'm
well,
I'm trying to
no.
understand. I'm trying to understand
Okay.
because I don't know.
Let me give you a
Yeah.
specific. Let me give you a specific. I believe we have anywhere from because the last time I heard was 16 million. Now I'm hearing 22 million for Williams Road. Williams Road we had money for Williams Road like maybe 16 years ago,
Yeah.
but it was borrowed to go somewhere else in the city. This time we have I think 16 to 22 million to fix Williams Road. We are the first uh, thing that needs to get done on Williams Road before we start fixing the sidewalks on the street. PG&E has to remove all those telephone poles.
Yeah.
All the wiring has to go underground, just like it did on East Market.
Yeah.
You go to East Market, you don't see no telephone wiring. It's all underground. So before we fix Williams Road, we're
Yeah.
waiting on PG&E, which is not an easy task to do. It's another government within itself.
Yeah.
Uh, we're waiting on that. But there is money sitting down, waiting. It can't be spent for anything else but Williams Road.
Okay.
So yeah, there's money waiting to be spent on Barrera Road, and it can be spent, but on those specific projects.
So the wait, a big part of the wait is on PG&E. You guys are waiting for them
No,
to start dragging their feet
Just on Williams Road.
on
Just
Williams Road. Yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
not on Barrera, on Williams Road it is.
Okay.
Yeah,
So you're happy with Renee's performance? Because I don't
absolutely.
know. I don't know because I'm not on the board and I don't pay enough attention. I mean, to me, I mean, no matter how great of a job, I just wouldn't think anybody deserves a raise. So that's where I stand. That's why
Yeah,
it's not
and,
against
and,
it's not
and I
against
can
Renee. It's just
and I can respect that. I can respect that. This coming
yeah.
Saturday we're having a meeting where the public's invited. We're going to be talking about issues like this. People can come and sound off. Uh,
Where's it gonna be at?
It's going to be at the Steinbeck Museum, or the Steinbeck Center now,
Old Town. Old Town.
In Old Town. Yes.
Okay, cool. And what time is that gonna be at?
I'm going to say we're going to start at, I should know exactly, at 9:30, I'm going to say.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's to my understanding that you ran as supervisor.
I did.
You did. And District 1 supervisor?
I ran against Mr. Alejo.
And how did that turn out? What was the
Eh,
what was the tally mark after there was all after the dust cleared and stuff, man? What
well,
was it?
let me tell you the fun part about it was I'm a neighborhood politician. I'm not going anywhere else. I'm a neighborhood politician. I
Yeah.
love working in our neighborhoods. So I ran against the first time I ran against uh, Mr. Alejo, Mr. Fernando Armenta, and myself. On that one, I was third. I came in last.
Okay.
If you look at public record on my funding, I've never gotten 100,000. I don't think I've even gotten 50,000 on my campaigns.
Yeah.
But I still run. If I believe in my heart, hey, I think I can do.
Yeah.
And I ran
That's
the
good.
second time. I ran the second time against uh, Alejo as well. He swept the floor with me. I mean, I think he he's very knowledgeable about the politics. Him being a former assembly member and not being a Monterey County supervisor, he understands how government is run. So I ran against him. He
Yeah.
beat me. He beat me. So, but he's my supervisor right now in District One.
Yeah, he's mine as well.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure you're aware of that. Yes,
Yeah.
he's my district supervisor as well.
Well, you and I are almost neighbors. You live not too far from here.
Yeah, and I think you know some of my family too.
I do.
I think so.
Okay.
I have an aunt. Her name is Linda Muñoz.
I She's your aunt,
That's my tia, Linda.
Joe Bernal.
No, Joe Bernal was who married her,
Yeah,
but Linda is my tia. That's my dad's sister.
wow.
Yeah, yeah. He used to be a preacher, huh?
You know what? I was helping. I
I was
wasn't.
there. I was there as a kid, so we've been
Yeah.
in. Yeah, we met a long time ago. Probably we just
Also,
didn't know.
also,
I was
you
a
know
little
me.
kid.
So you know
No,
me.
no. I don't remember, but I asked one of my family members because I was trying to get the information because I wanted to look up because my grandma, Linda's mom, got ran over right there on
Yes.
Williams Road.
Yes. Yes.
Her name was Alicia Munoz,
Munoz. You know
and
what?
yeah,
And I
my grandma.
remember. I remember your aunt connected with me on that issue because I really didn't know how it happened. And
Yeah,
she did ask me if I can find out. I guess she was looking for the detective. This is years ago.
yeah. They wanted to. Yeah, they were trying to find out who did it, but
Yeah, yeah.
back then nobody had ring cameras and
No,
we didn't have all the camera surveillance that we have now. So back
yeah,
then it was very, common for people to get hit and run and just never get caught. And
yeah,
I guess several people have died before that, right there because there wasn't a light, a stoplight,
yeah, yeah,
which there is a light now.
yeah,
And and it would be nice if we can get lighted crosswalks all over Salinas. I know some certain areas have had them, those little lights that trigger on when you press the button, the little crosswalk lights up, something like that. Um, yeah, I don't know if the city has any plans of stuff like that, but
let me tell you the issue because I asked the same question you're asking right now, or you're talking about.
yeah,
I know two crosswalks that were like that. One is on Los Padres Elementary, and the other one is over there on North Main by 7-Eleven. We
yeah,
had
yeah,
what for some reason they broke down. So I had asked, why aren't we fixing those lights? Well, I think one of the crosswalks just to fix that was going to be over $300,000,
yeah, just
and
to fix the lighting, huh?
which is insane. It's insane,
Yeah,
but when you're dealing with government, stuff is expensive. It really is.
yeah,
Labor in government is a lot more expensive than in private government, in private industry.
yeah,
It's it's just that way. Um, so we didn't feel it was, it's too expensive to fix. So
to
so
fix, huh?
they did away
You know
with.
what? You know what though? Maybe they there there's other things too, like maybe like super reflective striping or something at a cheaper cost.
Yeah,
There's other things that could be done just to, I just yeah, because I know that there's certain areas that it's just, it's crazy trying to cross them. And I don't know, if Williams is still having the same issues that it used to have. I know that what is it, Alisal and Sanborn? I know Alisal and Sanborn is crazy. Like people fly through that intersection
Yeah.
I almost got sideswiped a couple of times where like it was my light, but what I do is I always wait and I look both ways just in
Yeah.
case
Yeah.
because people are crazy. So,
Well,
and I wait and I see him fly right by me running the light, and I'm like,
yeah.
okay, good thing I just didn't go because I would have got sideswiped.
Well, we have a lot of lawbreakers that don't obey no matter what you do, and people easily blame government. We're not doing enough. But you know what?
Yeah,
We have a handful of lawbreakers. They use these streets like if they're highways. Um, I know I got a guy here in the neighborhood. I'm trying to find out who it is. He comes and does donuts out here at least once a week.
yeah,
I haven't been able to get his license plate, but it's the same car.
yeah,
But I can put myself in danger, as I'm not a cop. But
yeah,
when people speak, I have to listen and figure out ways, just like you mentioned about reflector lighting. Those are things we're looking into.
yeah, yeah,
The crosswalks out on Williams Road, they're very dangerous because people speed up on that street.
yeah. And
We got a lot of speeders.
yeah, you know what, Tony? I just thought of something that I wanted to ask you about too. Um, so out here we dump millions and millions of gallons of pesticides, to protect our crops from bugs. Um, so we can, so they could make a profit, right? I mean,
Yeah.
it's part of the business. But do you worry, like, do you worry about the long term effects that this is going to have on our water system? Like, is this something that you've thought of?
Absolutely. I think those are one of those critical issues with water and poisoning as well. I was a field worker. A lot of the younger politicians says I'm a son or a daughter of immigrant farmers. Well, I was a campesino. I was the one
Yeah,
that worked in the fields. I
yeah,
worked in the fields. So I saw uh, how that has affected people now as they're getting older because it
yeah,
it, 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 it takes time and it's hurting people. I think one of the things on the state level with Speaker Robert Rivas, on the local level with Alejo and Lopez, our
yeah,
two supervisors, I think they've done tremendous work on getting meetings together. Of course, just like you mentioned, there's profit, but then there's safety and health here as well. We got to protect the people that work the fields.
yeah,
So I think there's been a lot of discussion. As a matter of fact, some of the poisons that they've used before to for this kind of stuff, they stopped them already. But it's not enough. But I think our state representatives, along with us locals, participating in supporting those issues, I,
yeah.
I think we're doing good.
Okay.
Not enough, but we are doing some good work.
So you see, in your opinion, you feel like we're making progress in regards to
We
the
sure,
pesticides?
yeah, and you know what? And a lot of that has to do also with a lot of people that have spoken out against it, not necessarily politicians, but people that work in the fields, how they're being impacted.
No.
Uh, I think we've listened to them, and they're right. Yeah,
Yeah, I worked in the lettuce field for one summer
yeah,
when I was young.
yeah,
Not a lot of people that don't speak Spanish, my age would have done that, but
yeah.
I'm not afraid of work. I've been working
Oh,
since I
oh,
was
no,
12.
well, yeah,
So, yeah,
but
no, yeah, no. I've
but
worked
but
I worked in the
but
fields
but
too.
but what happens in our arena? People don't know our, just like I don't know about your life, you don't know about my life, but a lot of
Yeah.
times in politics we judge each other. That how would you know what I'm going through? You never been there. Well, you don't know what I've gone through.
Yeah,
No,
yeah, no, yeah, yeah, totally. And I don't like to make assumptions about
yeah,
people either. I just like, like when it comes to the politics stuff, I kind of like, I judge people off of their voting record,
yeah,
you know,
yeah,
but then I do know that there's gray areas though.
absolutely,
So sometimes it's like, you know, damned if you do and damned if you don't, there's no right
yeah,
or wrong. It's one of
yeah.
those issues where, and you had to make an executive order and an executive decision, right? You had to make an executive call, right? And it is what it is. But
Well, I'll tell you what. Being that you may mention executive order, anytime I have made a decision that I know is going to be contentious,
yeah,
I always go to the community. I always put a little, a lot of people don't go to community meetings, but I'll put it out there. I want to get some feedback. give me
Yeah.
some direction, and we move on that.
Okay. So another thing I just want to throw out there too. I noticed that sometimes when they spray, they'll spray like in the middle of the day when people are driving and stuff, like right by the field,
Mhm.
and I don't know who regulates when they spray, but it seems to me like there could be a way better time to spray, like maybe in the middle of the night when the traffic is died, I'm talking about like, like even when you're going, and I know this is out of Salinas, but I'm just saying like all
Yeah,
around here, all around, it's like a county thing, where the county I don't feel is is enforcing whatever kind of codes that they should
yeah,
be, just on the spraying part, and and another thing that people don't think about too is when you spray the chemical on the ground. Okay, it might dry up, right, and it doesn't look like it's wet anymore, right? But what happened is the chemical is still there, and then it gets into the dirt, and then when it gets hot, the dirt, the wind kicks it up, and then we're breathing it.
yeah, yeah,
So that's
absolutely.
yeah. There's a lot of things, but to me it seems like ridiculous, right? That we don't have an escape plan, right? We
Uh-huh.
don't have like a 50 or 100-year plan where we're gonna like like have some kind of schedule to where we're gonna just step away from the chemicals, because there's a lot of natural things that they can do, but it's just cheaper, I guess, to buy the chemical and use the chemical.
Well,
It's more
you know
cost
what?
efficient.
As I'm hearing you speak,
Yeah,
uh, it is rapidly changing, and let me tell you how it's changing. Not necessarily to the benefit of the farm worker, but it's changing for the benefit of the industry and for profit. I went to go see a machine that cuts crops. I think about maybe I'm going to say 3 or 4 months ago, and that eliminated eight. That machine does what 18 people used to do.
yeah.
So that's 18 jobs. So now you don't have to worry about the pesticides. What I'm saying to your point, the agriculture industry is changing so fast that yeah, we're protecting the farmer and we should. And I think we have a good agriculture commissioner as well on the county level that monitors those things for safety, for health reasons. But before you know it, in our lifetime, we're going to see empty fields. We're not going to see people anymore. We're going to see machines. And we're starting to see them more and more as time goes by. That's why industry is important to educate people out while they're working in the fields right now to be able to get them to maybe go to night school, maybe learn another trade. I think that's very important um, because, yeah, the industry is changing.
Yeah, because I know that there's a whole bunch of alternatives than spraying
Uh,
poison,
well,
and yeah.
that's going to be one of the main alternatives. No more people working out there.
No, but I'm talking about it doesn't even matter about the people working. I'm saying that stuff gets in the ground. Those
Absolutely.
chemicals, when you filter the water, you can't filter those chemicals out of the water. You can take dirt and you can take other impurities, but you can't get the chemicals out of the water.
You're right. You know
So
what? Every time,
so that they're ruining our water forever,
yeah,
you know?
but every time you and I sit down at the dinner table, if we were to sit down and read every ingredient of what we're eating, you're gonna find out everything's got chemicals of some sort.
But that
Everything.
yeah, but that doesn't make it okay to poison the water.
Well, no,
You
it
know?
doesn't.
It doesn't.
But they use them, and we're eating them. So you're right. I'm not justifying it. I'm
Yeah,
just saying it
and
happens.
and the way I feel too with when it comes to like this is my own personal belief.
Yeah.
I believe that some people, because I'm pretty sure some people, right, where they microwave plastic stuff and they eat all kinds of crazy stuff and nothing happens to them, right? And then
Uh-huh.
there's this guy who rides a bicycle 5 miles a day, never smoked a cigarette in his life. He gets lung cancer, right? Like it's
Yeah.
crazy. I think that it is a roll of the dice genetically. I think genetically some of our bodies are more resilient to things just naturally, I think. So that's just what I believe. I believe that yeah, these chemicals, they might not do stuff to some people, but I think to some people they will. And
You're right.
and for me, I just always like to eliminate all the possibilities of things. Like
Yeah.
if I'm afraid of something, I'll try to like eliminate like as many ways that I can be a victim of that.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's just maybe me being super paranoid about those kinds of things. But no, but
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, there. like you said, some stuff is avoidable, is unavoidable, and then
Mhm.
I believe that some stuff is avoidable. So, you
Yeah,
know, I don't throw caution to the wind and just go and eat everything and drink everything without looking to see at least what it is. And once in
yeah,
a while, if it's bad, no worries. But
yeah.
okay. So I just wanted to ask you how you felt about the pesticide issue. Um, let's see what kind of other questions I have. Oh, so far, um, for your campaign, have you started collecting any money yet?
I
Have,
did.
have you started fundraising yet? How's
I,
the campaign looking? How's the funds looking? Are you on the right
well,
track, or are
oh
you
no, no.
where you at?
With funding, I'm never on the right track.
You're
Oh,
never on the right track.
let me tell you what happened to me just within the last 3 weeks.
Yeah,
I've been going to some of my constituents that I think they can probably afford $100.
yeah,
So far, nobody's has given me $100. The ones that I asked. Now, look at. I asked Bridgestone. Are you familiar with Creek Bridge?
yes,
Okay, Creek Bridge now is Bridgestone. They're right here at the by the Safeway Shopping Center on Constitution.
okay,
I strongly believe I support them because they've proven not only do they live here, but they develop here. And they've been very accessible when we have questions, concerns. They're always at the table. They gave me $495. No, 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 forgive me. $499. And let me tell you why that is. They wanted to give me $4,000
yeah,
because they believe in my work.
yeah,
But it says, well, can you give me $499? Because if I ask for 500, every time the Levine Act comes up on city council, I have to say, yeah, I got $500, 500. And I said, I don't want to do that.
yeah,
If you can give me $499, I can say I'm in the clear. Now
yeah,
if people such as yourself say, who has given you money? I'm gonna be straight up with you, and I'm gonna tell you why
yeah,
I got $499.
yeah. No, that's
Um,
cool.
yeah, but I have gone to about 10 constituents in District 2 that I believe they can afford $100. Uh,
Yeah,
they're having
no
a
love,
hard time with that one.
no love, huh?
Well, it's not that
Stuff.
it's no love. I mean, it's
No,
a
just
hundred
saying for
bucks, you
no
know.
financial love. No, no
No,
financial love.
but let me tell you why I'm asking 100 instead of 99.
Yeah,
Because if they give me $100, their name goes on public record.
yeah,
If they gave me $99, nobody will know about that.
yeah. I
Just
got
like
you.
with Stonebridge, just like you asked me,
Yeah,
I'll tell you Stonebridge gave me 499.
yeah, yeah.
But
No,
but every time the city council uh, um, our lawyer says, okay, now we're going into the Levine Act.
yeah.
Has anybody given you $500 or more? Every week, I don't want to be saying yes, yes. So there
I
it
got
is.
you. I got you. No, I
Okay.
mean that's just between me and you. I won't even put that out there. I'm just asking. I'm just worried how it's going for. I'm just wondering how it's going for you.
Yeah.
Um, now I know Tony. I know that like a lot of the times you make the right vote. I'm just asking you about a couple of votes that I didn't agree with you on, but I think your track record speaks for itself. I think you vote for the right thing most of the time. So I did. Do you know I even gave you a shout out on my album?
A what?
Did I know I gave you a shout out? You know what a shout out is?
Yeah.
So I give you a shout out on my album. I
You
rapped
did?
in one of my verses. I said that because like so I made this song. And it's called "We Got the Numbers."
Uh-huh.
And the song is about how us, the people, we have the numbers, but we don't show up to fight back and vote. You
Oh,
know,
yeah.
and the song is to like raise voter awareness. But in the song, I'm talking about the perspective of the person that doesn't, that like these people don't vote. I'm talking about it.
Yeah.
And then in my second verse, I'm talking about my plans of taking the city back,
Uh-huh.
of us electing people so we can have the vote over the Taylor Five.
Yeah.
Because and that's what I'm talking about. So in my verse, I shouted you out. I said that we need to get rid of Dennis, and I said we need to get rid of Margaret, and I said we need to elect you and Sandoval, and then find somebody else for those two other seats,
Well, thank
so we
you.
could so we could have four votes. That's what I said on my album, and that's what I because I like. I think that if you win, and I think that if we have the right, because okay, here's another thing too. I know that you were on the previous council, and that council did a lot of good. They were
Yeah,
fixing, they were getting a lot of stuff done. They had a real progressive agenda. But what I believe happened is the business people, they got upset because they weren't giving enough love and attention, I guess, to the businesses. I guess I don't know. I mean, whatever big business groups that get like the Monterey County Business Council, the Salinas Valley Chamber of Commerce, these organizations, um, they really got behind this group that ran as a slate,
yeah.
which is, oh, that's another question I was gonna ask you. Does Tony Barrera believe that there is a thing called the Taylor Five? Do you believe in that there is a thing called the Taylor Five, or do you think that's just a nickname that has been like just thrown on them and they don't deserve that title? What does Tony Barrera
Well,
feel about that?
well, you know what? The people that we serve have the right to say whatever they want from us because we represent the public.
Yeah.
So I don't view them as a Taylor Five. I view them as individuals. Whoever gave them money, man, I've never received not even half of that money. But I'm not gonna say they were bought. I'm not even gonna get into that.
So
But
you don't believe that there's a group called the Taylor Five?
well, I hear that these people have been labeled as the Taylor Five, but I don't see them
Yeah.
that way. I don't. I'll be
So
honest with
you
you.
don't believe in it. So you don't believe it. You
Well,
don't believe
well,
it's a thing.
let me tell you what I believe about Taylor.
Yeah.
He's getting ready to build 67 apartments across the street from City Hall. I want to keep my relationship. I don't know the man that well. I think I've only met with
Yeah.
him once or twice since I've been a council member.
Yeah.
He's getting ready to build 67 apartments across the street from City Hall. At first, they all started with market rate. What that means that there is nobody that works in the fields is going to be able to afford any apartment there. That's just point blank.
Yeah.
They're expensive. Market rate is expensive. What I'm trying to build relationships with Taylor Farms is I'm asking, can you give us at least 20%
Yeah.
apartments for low income and below low income people that are hardworking people, but they're not. Some of them may be his employees
Yeah.
because they don't make that much money, even if mom and dad are working. So um, I want to keep my relationship open to get those 8 apartments. I don't want to upset them over my own personal whatever.
Well, where's Taylor's $5,500 for Tony Barrera, man?
I won't ask for them.
No,
I've
I'm
never.
saying why doesn't he donate to the cause if he believes it, like in what you're doing, just on the, you know, like you're
Maybe,
you're a
maybe,
good man. You're a good man, Tony. You deserve to have some money donated to you, man. If if if
but you know
if
what?
if
But
I
you know
if
what?
I was Taylor and I was a billionaire, Tony, if I was a billionaire,
Uh,
I would donate to your cause. You
yeah.
wouldn't
Okay.
even have to worry about you wouldn't even have to
Thank
worry
you.
about that.
Well,
But I'm
thank
not.
you.
I'm broke, so I can't donate nothing to you,
Yeah,
Tony. I'm sorry,
yeah,
but
yeah.
you
No, well,
know, I
thank
mean,
you. Hey, but I want to get back to you. Why the previous council did so much good in East Salinas? Can I
yeah,
say that?
yeah. Get into that.
Have you ever heard how there's the silver lining on anything bad that happens? There's always that silver lining.
Yeah,
Well, you know what? After COVID, remember, I think we went through 3 years of COVID.
yeah,
Well, check this out. Millions of dollars, millions. I'm gonna say more than 100 million was dedicated for District One
yeah,
and District Two, which are East Salinas, for redevelopment, and that came from pandemic money.
yeah,
Two. Now the other people in District Three, District Five, uh, 4, whatever, would have said, "Well, how come we didn't get nothing?" Well, we didn't have any say so on the matter. The ones that it came from the federal government to the state government. And you know what we did? We took advantage of that. I know Tout Street that hasn't been redeveloped in over 30 years.
yeah,
Osorio and I, because we're across the street from each other,
yeah,
we said, let's put our money together and let's fix it instead of just patching it up. And we fixed it. So
yeah.
a lot of the work, infrastructure work, went to East Salinas because of the pandemic money. That's the reason we were able to do a lot of good things, and which is great. It
Yeah.
was the silver lining.
Yeah. And so back to that, right? I feel like they did a lot of good. You feel like a lot of people. I've been hearing this from a lot of people that combination was a good combination, right?
It was great.
But I was watching the mayor's race, and Donahue started talking about the dysfunction, and I started to look into the, Kimberly Craig dropped out of running for reelection, and Shane left early, McShane, and I guess they filled his slot and all that other stuff, but the big money behind these people really painted the picture as if that council wasn't doing anything.
Yeah,
That's even how Donahue even painted it in the mayor's debate. Was
yeah,
like they were dysfunctional, and it was funny because he was even saying, talking about special interest groups. Oh yeah, people are wondering whether they have special interest groups, and I'm over here thinking, what are you talking about, Donahue? The special interest groups are backing you and every single one of the Taylor Five because they ran on a slate. You
yeah,
know, if one rich person donated to one, he donated to all of them. They ran
yeah.
as a slate. They ran together, and they all won. And now I think they're not getting as much done as that last council. Now it doesn't only have to do with the money thing.
Hmm.
It also has to do with their motivations and their goals, and what they're putting on the agenda. And I think that they're just too worried about scratching the backs of all the rich people. I mean, this is
Yeah,
my opinion. I'm not saying this is uh, uh
yeah.
Tony Barrera. This does not reflect the opinions of Tony Barrera. Right.
Okay.
No, this is me saying this. This is how I feel. Um, so yeah, I just, like, see, that like, to me, I like to try to look at the big picture of things, and I
Uh-huh.
try to, make sense of what happened. Um, I mean, they barely lost, right? The mayor won by a decent little margin, but all the other ones, though, hundreds of votes. We're talking District
Yeah,
One, hundreds
yeah,
of votes. District Three, hundreds of votes. All these hundreds of votes, and they had all that money, behind them, and
yeah,
they barely even squeaked by. But yeah, it's very unfortunate that team didn't get assembled again to continue the good that they were doing, because I thought it was a pretty progressive group.
yeah.
So so hopefully we can start, we can get another group like that in there.
Well,
um
you know what? I appreciate Osornio stated. I appointed him as a commissioner.
yeah,
Uh, so he's still going. He's still pretty. He's going strong community wide.
that's good. That's
Yeah,
good. Shout out to him. Yeah, I seen he did that, or he was one of the people behind the Hebron
yeah,
Family Center.
yes.
Yeah, so shout out to him in the Hebron Family Center. Now, I got another question, and I mean, you said Ag's not giving you any money, so you would probably, no
No,
big
no,
deal if you answered this
no,
question,
no,
right?
no. I didn't say that. Ag has not yet given me money. That's what I said.
Oh, okay, yeah. Well, not yet, right? They haven't
Not
donated any
yet.
money yet. Oh, well, maybe I shouldn't ask you this question then, because it might ruin.
No, no. You can ask me.
Would you support city efforts to to collect money from ag more aggressively? And I'm not
Absolutely.
talking an ag tax because that's against the law. I know there was a proposition that was passed in the 90s, and I know that it makes the city, like, basically it doesn't give them the power. It has to go to vote if we're going to
Yeah,
tax ag.
yeah.
But I know that there's other creative ways that we can get more money from ag. Um, do you believe in more aggressive supports to go after money from the ag industry?
Absolutely. Do you remember Chris Padilla? Does that name?
No, no.
Chris Padilla was one of the pioneers of LULAC, El MAPA, Mexican American Political Association.
Okay.
He was working for the in the public defender's office in Monterey County. He was an activist, and one time he mentioned to me and another group of individuals, "How would you guys feel if we went after ag for a penny a box?" That means a penny a box of anything that goes out,
Yeah,
lettuce, broccoli. Did you know a penny a box would be in the millions of dollars?
I do
So
know. I do
yeah,
know. Yeah.
so that didn't go very far. We pushed it. It didn't go very far. What I did appreciate, I know Councilmember Sandoval brought it to the front line again, maybe a couple of years ago or more. Yeah, I strongly believe in that. I have spoken to the city manager and the city attorney regarding that.
Yeah.
It's a hard lift. because just to get, it's not impossible, but to get the support, it'll be difficult. But again, it's not impossible. But yeah, that was one way that I was supporting that.
Yeah,
Uh,
I think it would be awesome if the Taylor Farms and all these large companies just came up and just said, you know what, we'll give you guys 5 cents a box or something, you know, just on their own. I mean, they're making
yeah,
money hand over
yeah.
fist. I mean, these are billionaires. I mean, they got multiple homes, and I mean, it's no sweat off their back. I just, you know, I don't think they'll do that, but I think if they did that, that would be awesome. That would be beautiful. I think the community would, you know, because yeah, like you said, there's an estimated anywhere from 200 to 400 million boxes that
Hmm.
are shipped out of here every single year. They say it's like 1,700 a day or something like that. It's an
But you know what?
astronomical number.
But you know what? In another way, if you really see the growers, the farmers, look what TNA did for their workers. They built housing up at Spreckles. Even though the community was against them, they built some really nice apartments uh, for their workers. Somebody might say, they should do more. Of course, it should always be more, but they did that. I know Taylor right now, uh, he's developing downtown. People will may view it as they wish. What I'm asking is, if you're going to develop apartments, can you give us a percentage of low income housing? And I think we're moving in that direction. Um, Now, the growers here, um, I spoke to two merchants in downtown, and because it's confidential, I can't tell you their names, but Taylor owns the buildings, and he's
Yeah.
actually helped them with their rent. So things like that. Again, somebody in the opposing side might say that's not enough, but it's something. I mean, think about it. If you're the merchant that's renting the building, you, you would be happy that somebody's helping you out somehow.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. Well, I feel like the city, it's up to the city to like force them to pitch in a little bit more, you know, because they're not going to just willingly do it. I mean, they donate money to scholarships and stuff like that, but I mean, when you really look at the amount of money that it is compared to how much they're making,
you know,
it's you know, it's
but
like
I'm, but I'm sorry. I don't.
yeah.
I don't think I want to be in a position to want to force private industry to do something that government. I would like less government and more private industry. I would like that.
Well,
Um,
the private sector is proven time over time to just keep trying to like maximize profits at any cost.
well, not
You know,
necessarily.
that's what it is.
Have you spoken to Digital Nest? Do you know what Digital Nest is?
I've very recently heard about the Digital Nest. Yeah, they're in
Go
that
look.
building, right? They're in that building that's
Go,
gonna get.
go look at their beautiful building
Yeah,
and find out the blessing there. The Boys and Girls Club of Monterey County, there's
no,
blessing there. Uh, the other apartments that have been being built, there's blessings there. This is things that are done that people don't hear about.
but
So,
those are peanuts, though. I mean,
well,
compared
but
to how much they're making, Tony, like that's nothing, and that's why they're throwing peanuts, and people are distracted and happy with the peanuts, and I'm
uh,
over here looking at it
no,
like, dude, like
yeah.
you guys could do way more than that. They're destroying our streets, you know,
Well,
and
I'm looking at the peanuts, but I'm also thinking, how can we get a penny a box? I'm still thinking that way. I'm
yeah,
still,
we could get it.
well,
I'm thinking $1 a box, man. Let's
yeah.
do $1 a box
Yeah.
times 300 million. Let's do it.
Okay.
Double this city budget
Well,
right there.
well, well, it sounds like you're ready for a city council. Get in
Let's
the
do
ring.
it. No,
Get,
I just see people across the country doing these ideas, things like this, and they're working. Have you ever heard of Zoran Mondami? Have you heard about him?
I have.
Did you hear what he's doing about the snow issue that they're having right now?
What's he doing?
So, to my understanding, the figure was like around 100 million or something that the city would pay these private companies to clean up the snow. Well, I guess he fired all of them, and
Uh-huh.
now he's paying the citizens like $40 an hour to shovel snow.
Yeah.
40
Well,
bucks
well,
an hour. I would
well,
go shovel snow for 40
well,
bucks an hour, you know?
what to what you're saying? I just heard from a council member from New York.
Yeah.
whether it's true or not. She said it is not working because people are not showing up for work. So
I mean,
I'm using,
that's a good pay though. $40 an hour. I mean,
but why aren't people showing up for work to shovel snow?
well, I mean, I don't know. I don't know.
What was
I'm
what
not there, so I don't know if it's working or not.
exactly
But
you?
it's a brilliant idea.
It's
It's a
exactly you
very
and I
good
are not
idea.
there. But I
Yeah.
want you to look what's happening in your neighborhood. Look at Elkington.
Yeah.
Elkington at one time was the cul-de-sac. You go in one way and out the other way. Now you're going out through close to adjacent to La Paz Middle School.
Yeah.
Uh, what has happened in Elkington, where you live, there has been a lot of social work, a lot of police work, because Elkington was one of our worst neighborhoods, and I'm talking about in that area as far as gang violence.
Yeah.
And the reason I know, I have uncles that lived there for years on Elkington, so I'm very familiar. So it has improved a lot.
Yeah.
Uh,
No, the whole city has, because I'll tell you why. Because throughout the country, the crime rate has gone down just all
mhm,
across the country. It dropped. I mean, I was in the Monterey County Youth Center when I was a kid,
uh-huh,
and when I was there was about 150 kids. Now, um, last year I was teaching a multimedia class at the youth center. I was teaching to the kids. I was volunteer. It was my own program. I reached
mhm,
out to them. Um, I wrote the class and everything, and they let me do it for. I did it for a few months. Um, and there was only 30 kids there.
huh,
30, 30 kids there, which is I was happy. I
yeah,
was happy that there was only 30 kids there,
yeah,
because yeah, when I was there, it was 150 kids. And then to my understanding, they got the brand new juvenile hall. Well, not
mm,
brand new, but a couple of years
yeah,
old.
yeah,
And they're like way understaffed, right?
yeah, yeah,
So I just look at it and I just think like, man, like they should just put those 30 kids over there. And then here you go, homeless shelter, right? But then that's the thing, though. I know a lot of people get upset. Why does a homeless shelter have to be on the east side, right? They always,
yeah,
I know
yeah,
those people have that argument. I seen that Margaret lady, Margaret Benetti or something like
yeah,
that.
uh,
I seen an old clip of her where she was trying to my little dogger. Come here, Monty. She was trying to recall her councilman because he wanted to build a homeless shelter right there on Natividad, you know?
yeah,
And I
yeah,
think they did build it. I think they did end up building it. And and I just thought, wow, like you're trying to recall this guy for trying to help the homeless people?
yeah,
Like that's pretty crazy. Well, that's another question I had for you too, Tony. I noticed that you guys took a vote recently to to have more like shorter of a warning span for the homeless or something like that with the
uh-huh,
encampments or whatever.
yeah,
And I believe you voted yes on that,
yes,
right?
yeah.
You want to explain that vote a little bit more, like why you voted yes?
Absolutely, absolutely, and I think it was a good vote, and it's a very important decision, if it's done correctly, because we're dealing with human people, with human lives, and that are going through different issues. If we allow the encampments, I'll give you an example that I just went through last week. I was at Car Lake. I don't know if you heard in the news, two people that were asleep. As it was raining,
Yeah, I heard.
they had to go and be rescued. Well, that is serious in itself. They could have drowned. They could have drowned, easily drowned. Uh, just to clean up Car Lake, when we had this encampment, the city paid over $2 million because of toxic waste on where there's fish and that water there. It's the rainwater that comes from the mountains. It ends up at Car Lake. So it was devastating. And the reason we paid so much money, because we allowed the encampment. I mean, it was a village already. They had roosters, they had chickens. It was a little village, but we had allowed it to happen. The sad thing about it was, um, it was a serious safety hazard. There was, and not everybody's a drug addict, not everybody's an alcoholic, but there's social issues, safety issues. The rat infestation that was there, I saw it personally. The rat infest. These aren't mice; these are rats. So yeah, it gets pretty serious. So I think as soon as one tent starts going up, my view is go and talk to that person. You got to take it down quickly because if we let it, five more are going to be there.
But they have
Because
nowhere. But they have nowhere else to go though. Like,
well, let me tell you what I've shared with some of those folks,
yeah,
and I deal with them on a daily basis.
yeah,
I says, man, if you can only pitch your tent and don't bring in pallets, don't bring in couches, don't just leave it clean. But there's a process that goes through. They start bringing stuff and more stuff and more stuff, and then it never stops. I ran into a young Oaxacan family. They had dug. I'm not kidding you. Their mattress was underground. There was two young families, a baby. They had a fire for heat and for food.
yeah.
And talk about dangerous. And if the government doesn't do anything and that baby ends up dying, the same people that are screaming and hollering, you guys are inhumane, are going to say, well, why aren't you doing something about that issue? Why'd you let that baby die? So,
But
so
but they have no other option though. I mean,
let me tell you,
you're
80
yeah,
percent of our homeless.
yeah,
I worked in Chinatown for 18 years, so I know a lot of these folks. And
yeah,
now we got children of the folks that I knew. Just like I know your aunt. Look
yeah.
at it. It's people that have uh, generations that go through Chinatown. And what happened, I've asked people, why don't you go to your Aunt Martha's house? Oh, no, because she wants me there. There's rules, there's structure. They don't want
Yeah,
structure. Why don't you go to the Victory Mission? Oh, no, you got to pray. You got to go to the church service. I don't want
yeah,
that. I got to
yeah,
take a
but
shower.
yeah, but that doesn't mean that we have to force them and throw their stuff away.
Well,
Like,
I don't think we do that.
th-
If
but
somebody can show me,
that's what it did.
you know,
That's what the vote was. The
I,
vote was to make it easier to get rid of their stuff and to kick them out faster.
I have to disagree with you.
That's what it was. It was
No,
going to
no,
change
no,
it from
no, no,
72 to
no,
42
no.
for it was from 72 to 48 hours.
48
So,
hours. They're being
yeah.
told, could you move your, you know what? Now you got
Yeah.
less stuff because it's only 2 days. So you got less stuff versus you've been here a month. Now
They have
I
nowhere to
wouldn't,
go. They have nowhere to go, Tony. These are people, I was homeless one time, Tony. I was homeless one time because I got kicked out because of some I don't want to name the company, but it was a corporation that owns a bunch of rentals, and they
okay.
claim that I owed them money that I did not owe them, and it was from like a year prior or something,
Uh-huh.
and I didn't have the money because at the time, I was on unemployment. It was during the Obama, when the economy crashed and all that other
Yeah.
stuff. So my company had closed, and I was on unemployment, and I was a single parent, and the company said I owed them money that I didn't owe them,
Yeah.
and when you do a non-payment, they can kick you out within days. I
Yeah.
was I was thrown out. I was couch surfing. I was making it. I was homeless for a little while. It took me a while to get my life back together. So like I've been there before, and if somebody told me that I only had 48 hours to move my stuff now, when that before it was 72, I mean that whole day is a big deal. And
But
I don't know.
I disagree with you. Are you familiar with the Victory Mission?
No.
It's in Chinatown.
Okay.
If you want to stay at the Victory Mission, you got to go to the church service. You have to pray. You have to take a shower. I
That's
lived there.
not. Yeah, but that's not. Now you're forcing people to join a
No,
religion
no,
that they
no,
might
no.
not even want to be a part of. What if they're Muslim?
I'm getting to me. I lived there
Yeah.
for a whole year. I was homeless for a whole year.
Yeah.
You're talking to a person that knows
And
what.
and and that shocks me that you voted to kick these people out faster,
But
Tony.
but
Like
see,
that's
but see,
sad.
no, no, but see what you're saying, kicking them. No, what you're doing is you're giving them 2 days instead of 3 days. You know what? We're gonna help you get your stuff moved.
Yeah.
If we got storage. See, a lot of times people just do a shout out and they really don't know the facts. They really don't know. I've gone there personally myself to see how this thing works. I've
Yeah.
gone to ask people, how can I help you? The majority of the people they want to be left alone, but they create a mess. It's a safety issue.
No.
Uh, so yeah, there's different ways of looking at it.
Okay.
But nobody's being taken advantage of. Nobody's being kicked out. I've even asked Wes White, who I love. I really like Wes White's energy.
Yeah.
Uh, I said, Wes, why don't you take a walk with me? And He's the vice president of the homeless. They tell him where to go just like they tell me. They don't want nobody bothering them.
Yeah, I met with Wes and I met with Lisa Murphy,
Yeah.
and they were having a discussion about the homeless, and I suggested to Lisa Murphy, I said, why don't we just turn a blind eye?
Uh-huh.
Why don't we just leave them alone? It would cost less money. I mean, maybe once in a while, send somebody with the dump truck or something to pick up some trash, maybe. But I mean, at the end of the day, when they don't have nowhere to go, they have no other options. I mean, you tell them to move over here, move over there, move over here, move over there. It's like
Yeah.
we
Yeah.
have city parks. We have city parks. We could designate a certain part of the
But
park.
Your
Let
your
them let
your
them camp
your
out.
your once in a while costs us $10,000 every time we clean up.
Well, 300,000. Renee's getting paid 300,000. That's a lot of trash pickups right there.
But he's bringing investment.
I mean, like I said, Amazon wants to come over here no matter what. You guys could have squeezed them for more than 3 million. I
I
think
did,
that's a
I,
super
I,
under.
I disagree. Amazon, the first time they wanted to come back, they changed their mind. So
What?
there's a lot.
How
There's a
did they
lot.
change? How did they change their mind on what? What did they
Well,
change their mind on?
there's a lot of negotiation that you and I are not aware of.
But they need us more than we need them. We already have agriculture.
You
That's our
know,
biggest industry.
we've been trying to bring a Trader Joe's to Salinas. I'll just give you an example.
Yeah,
It's a smaller store. Trader Joe's, they rather go to Marina or
yeah,
Seaside than
yeah.
coming over here. And they went over there. They didn't want to come over here.
Well, why didn't they want to come over here?
Well, that's what I'm saying. There's negotiations that you and I aren't aware of. Everything is negotiable.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm just looking at my list
You
of
got a good list.
questions. Yeah, I got a lot of questions. Tell you, when you reached out to me and said you want to have a conversation, I said, well,
Absolutely.
yeah, I love
Yeah.
I love to have conversations, and
Yeah.
and sometimes, like I said, I'm gonna ask questions that some people shy away from it, and I do respect you for sitting here because right now you're in the lion's den, and you signed up for this, Tony. You asked me to come here, and it takes a lot of stones to come in here and do this. So
Mm.
hats off to you for coming and answering questions. Do you have any questions for me that you might want to ask?
No,
Maybe we can
no,
turn
no,
it
no.
around. You
You
have
know what?
anything you want to know about me?
No, no. You know what? Well, now that I know you're Linda Muñoz's
That's my deal.
nephew,
Yeah,
I think highly of Linda Muñoz. One of the things that I appreciate of individuals such as yourself, you go out there to the in the limelight, you look for information, and I think we need that. Uh, you had mentioned you're going to be asked when people start saying you're going to answer tough questions. I think tough questions are when you're hiding things. I don't think I've ever faced a tough question unless I'm really doing something illegal.
yeah,
Um, I've gone to high schools and kids have asked me some real personal questions.
yeah,
I try to answer them the best I can, and I know that sometimes I've done that, and some other politicians have scripted them. You understand what I'm saying?
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, I've
yeah.
gone through stuff like that where I know this didn't come from this student; it came from somebody else.
Right.
So
Okay.
that's everywhere.
So I got one last question for you, Tony, before I let you go. I know your wife's probably looking at you like, what the hell? Are we gonna eat dinner or what? So one last tough question for you. If you had to take a guess, Tony, if you had to guess off the top of your head, how many hats do you own, Tony? Because I see you're very fashionable. You got different hats all the time. How many hats does Tony Barrera own? How many hats you got in the closet? Do you have a whole walk-in closet dedicated to your hats? Like, do you have a back house, a ADU just for your hats? Like, how many hats does Mister Barrera own?
I have 12 hats.
Only 12?
Yeah.
That's very shocking. When you need some more donors so they can support your habit of hats.
Yeah. All
So we need
right.
to get you some more donors. But okay, well, yeah, no, thanks for the conversation, Tony. I appreciate it. And like I told Gloria when I ran into Gloria, I don't have no hatred for none of those people on the city council. I'm just disgruntled citizen who
Yeah.
thinks that things could be done better. You see, I have some pretty extreme positions or ideas,
Mhm.
crazy ideas, right? I don't have all the answers. I just act to ask questions. I'm trying to figure it out. I'm trying to think outside the box
Mhm.
because I know that a lot of this stuff is keeps repeating itself locally.
Yeah.
It's been happening like this for forever. Like the streets never get fixed.
Yeah.
Child programs aren't properly funded. Like the same things keep happening over and over and over. So I'm trying to get involved so we can start trying to see what we can do about
And
it.
you know, and I appreciate what you're saying, and I look at it like Wyron Street over in East Salinas. Wyron Street hasn't been touched in 35 years, and right now it's a cul-de-sac.
Yeah.
It's over there by Cesar Chavez Library. 35 years it hasn't been touched, and we just fixed it. Brand new street, but nobody stops to celebrate those little things because there's always something more, something bigger. Uh, Barden Road, man, we did some awesome work with that road. It's brand new, uh, safe for the pedestrians with lights, like you're saying.
Yeah.
Very well organized for slowing down traffic. It's rare that you hear when I make comments like that, somebody else, "Y mi calle cuando? When are you going to do my street?" Well, let's do this one and let's celebrate it. But we don't do that. What I will ask, to the people that listen to you, it's okay to scream and holler to council when we're over there for the 2 minutes. But if people would just take the time to, like I always put out my cell number, my email. If somebody asks a question,
Yeah.
it's always good to, if you really have a question, to get it answered versus just hollering. Unless it's just venting, I can understand that. But a lot of times we get people that just vent. They really don't even understand the whole idea of whatever their issue is.
Yeah.
And I've learned that they really don't know. Um, but it's rare. You know what? As long as I've been a council member, it is rare that somebody will call me and complain to me one to one. Nobody does that. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's my 12 hats. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe, man. You're
Yeah,
you're quite you're quite fashionable, Tony.
yeah,
Maybe
yeah.
maybe
But
they
people,
don't.
people don't come and complain to me. They'll complain to somebody else, but they
Yeah.
don't they won't call me.
Yeah, I noticed that most people don't even know who their council member is.
Yeah, and you're right.
Most people don't even know. I'm finding this out as I'm going through my little journey here. I'm like,
Yeah,
okay. I
yeah,
mean, I mean, you know, uh, uh I didn't know who my council member was.
yeah,
I mean, I remember I voted, like I remember I didn't vote for Barajas because I seen that he had a Kimberly Craig endorsement, and I said,
yeah,
okay,
yeah,
well, she's tied to some money, and that's all I knew. I didn't know anything else. I just knew that the connections were money, So I don't vote for money just on the
yeah,
natural. I just already know.
yeah,
But I never paid much attention to local politics. I was always national, the
yeah.
world politics, but not local. But yeah, but anyways, I think more people are getting involved, and I think it's a good thing.
It
And
is.
and yeah, well, good luck in your reelection campaign,
All
Tony.
right. Thanks.
I'll send you the song, man. I give you a shout out, Tony. I said that we
Okay.
need to reelect you, so
Okay.
I don't know how much the people listen to my music or listen to me and what I say, but I said that because like I said to you know, yeah, you've made some votes that I don't agree with you on, but like if I had to like take a tally, I'm pretty sure I would agree with most of your votes.
Yeah.
Because I do know that you've, I know that you vote that you don't agree with the Taylor Five all the time, and you vote your conscience, and
Hmm.
that's all we can really ask for
Yeah. There you
from
go.
our politicians is to vote their conscience.
There you
So
go.
I appreciate
Yeah.
you, Tony.
All
Nice
right.
chit chatting with you. If you need anything from me, you know how to get a hold of me. Hey, have a good night, okay?
You too. Thank you.
All right, have a good one,
Bye.
boss.